I don't, is Curtis, are you here? I know Curtis trying to sneak on for a second. I don't know if I see him, letting so many people in this room. Shane, do you see him on here? Not yet. All right. Well, I'll have to come in at the end then. He won't get his poetic moment. But anyway, real quick, I'm super excited everybody on. Tonight I'm gonna cover a couple things real quick just about the Better platform, and then I'm gonna go ahead and kick it over to the CEO of Top Notch ERC, aka ERC Specialist. He'll explain that in a minute. We have a lot of momentum going within that program, and the Better platform has brought that to us. So that's going to be our focus today here in a minute. We also have the luxury of having one of the business owners that we were able to help out and impact their life. He's actually on today. He's going to explain the process and what it did for his family. So we're in for a treat. Also, Shane will cover some of the commissions that are paying out right now to the field. Payroll's hitting tomorrow for Jorns. Payroll's also hitting for the ERC specialist. So we have a lot of good stuff coming from this program. So we're going to get into all that. I'm trying to stall and see if Curtis comes on, but I don't know if he's here yet. Do you see him, Shane? If not, I'm going to rock and roll. All right. No big deal. So first of all, the thing I want to talk about first is what is the Better platform, right? When you explain the Better platform, how does it work? What's it give us access to? Today, we're going to talk to one of the CEOs of one. I'll get you in a minute. One of the companies, right? We're going to talk to one. So we're going to be kind of talking about ERC specialists. We have multiple companies on the platform. So people ask all the time, like, what is it? Like, what is the ERC specialist? I think Curtis had explained it really well. He dropped it out. Who's the chief strategist officer? And I want you guys to write this down or to embody what this platform is. So Better Income is a plug and play referral platform that can provide meaningful income to you by empowering businesses or people with a suite of impactful services that make a difference. Basically, you make the introductions and the Better platform handles the rest, right? So Jeff Levitan, the CEO of Better, Shane, I don't know if you can still let people in the room. I got a ton of people coming in. Okay, you got that. Okay. So the CEO, Jeff Levitan, the CEO of Better, he created this platform after 30 years in financial services. So he scaled a financial services company in a builder type model to over 20,000 licensed agents. His company did 230 million worth of profit last year. They had about 46,000 agents join the business last year. So he had a big vision. But one thing that was always something on his mind, and I've been under his leadership in the insurance side of the house for about 8 years now, was we have to get people in. They have to get licensed, right? There's a lot of regulations around the industry. But what if there could be a place where we could find entrepreneurial people, we can get them on the platform with no cost, and then we can allow them to use their skill sets of building relationships, sending over referrals, let the professionals grab the referrals. They do all the ground and pound work, and then we can offer them a referral compensation for doing that. So he wanted something that could sideline the industry, and you'll see some of the companies that are on here, but give an entrepreneur another avenue to build a business off of a referral platform. Now, when you think referral platform, when I first heard this, I was like, Jeff, that sounds awesome. I don't want a $25 gift card from Starbucks. Like, that's cool. Like, a lot of times you refer something and you get a referral fee through like a gift card or something like that. He said, no, Jason, we're going to scale it like the mortgage industry. We're going to scale it like the real estate industry where you're 1099, but in those industries, just like financial services, it pays really well. So there's opportunity for residual income on the platform, depending on where you refer it. One of the things we're going to talk about tonight, employee retention credit. It's a small window run, but for a massive amount of wealth you could build for your family and for business owners. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But let me share my screen real quick and just show you some of the stuff on the platform. So if you're new today, we have a lot of people on. Some are just seeing this for the first time. Some of you guys got invited on. The Better platform has a bunch of different suites on it through Clearwater, which is a healthcare company helping individuals and businesses set up health insurance, mostly targeted towards 1099. Prosperity is a debt relief company, unsecured debt, student loan debt, right? They do all types of debt. You have Let's Chat, which is, to me, is like the blend between AI and tying it into the world that we have. It's breaking down different languages that businesses. So let's say your business does primarily in English, but you have a base that wants it in Spanish. They have different softwares that you can add into to the business model to translate in over 100. I think it's 160 different languages. So that's a business to business type transaction. And then tonight we're going to talk about ERC specialists. Jorns is another company in the space, but we're talking about the employee retention credit. So my point to this is, when I saw this platform, I was able to keep doing everything I was able to do, which I still do every single day in the platform I'm on, whether you have a 9-to-5 job or you work in different industries. And I was able to scale a business sideline, right, by offering literally referrals and then being compensated. So I'll have Shane, I'm going to bring him up in a minute, but I want you to think of the better platform, like he said, a plug and play referral platform that you can build as an entrepreneur to empower businesses and people with a suite of impactful services. We're not talking about stuff they don't need. This is very relevant in every space. We know healthcare is a major issue that's going on in the U.S. Debt is a major issue. And this credit that's coming back to these employers is something that does not need to be overlooked. And I'll have Shane explain that in a minute. And you make the introduction. Leave it at this. You make the introduction, let the professional work it, and then you get a referral fee, right? I'm going to say it one more time. You make the introduction, let the companies do what they do best with their licenses. Then you get a referral fee, depending on what you do with the companies. So I want to jump right into who's on tonight. This is the CEO of Top Notch ERC, aka ERC Specialist. He'll explain some of that in a minute. What I've watched this young man do, right, in a matter of 120 days is like nothing short of like one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. I actually told he doesn't know that I was just with him a couple of days. I didn't tell him this. I talked to somebody I knew that's pretty successful. They own 11 McDonald's, right? And I said, Mark, I was like, my boy scaled a business in literally 120 days to 120 million worth of profit in 120 days within a business structure. He's like, there's no way. And I said, do you want me to show you the spreadsheet? Because I have it. I was able to show him. This gentleman saw a need in an industry, right? We already have the groundwork of some amazing companies. Jorns is an awesome company. Bottom Line's an awesome company in the space. So this young man went and studied what they were doing, right? And said, hey, how can we add an act in a service? And one thing that he noticed in the space is that a lot of these companies were not helping the 10 or less industry that was. So if an employer has 10 or less company or 10 or less, if an employer has 10 or less employees, it was being kind of overlooked by the industry. So he found his niche in there, and then he exploded it from that spot. But man, Shane, I'm very proud of you. One, I know we're really close friends, which is super awesome. But to see you look at something, have no fear, had learned the industry really, really quick, took your previous experience, and to scale what you've scaled right now. And I'm looking at one of the gentlemen that have been blessed by you taking this chance on yourself and chance on the better platform. Big Frank the Tank right there, and to see what you've done for him. But I'm proud of you, dude. I'm excited to be linked with you on the better platform to keep helping businesses get where they want to go. But quickly, if you want to kind of share maybe your passion for it, I told him to give like a State of the Union. Just I was joking with him a little bit ago. Kind of give the overview, and I'd love to hear from Frank too as well. And then I'll kind of wrap it up.
Jason, thank you, man. Listen, listen, whatever y'all are doing right now, you just need to stop it, right? You need to stop and lock in and listen for the next 45 minutes, because that's all it takes for your life to change forever. And I'm not joking. Like, I can't make this up. Jason, I appreciate the introduction, but you're selling us short, my friend. October of last year, I met Tony Schwantek at Jorns in a meeting in Atlanta. And he said, hey, this is our focus on ERC, and this is what we're working at, right? Bigger companies, and this is our program. And I was like, man, I started Googling. I started referring companies to Jorns immediately. I was in the meeting. I learned the program. I started texting business owners immediately. Okay. So while we're talking and you're locked in, 45 minutes from now, you need to be texting business owners right now, because that's how serious this is. So October, I started referring. I saw a window. I saw an opportunity that we could go help the large majority of small business owners, which is 10 and under. That's the largest majority, right? So I said, man, I can fill this gap, and I can do it with no upfront fees, and we can provide an excellent service. It's not hard. We just got to go jump off the cliff and make it happen. And that's what we did. And if it wasn't for all of you and many, many other people out there pounding the pavement every single day, right? Like I saw Faye a second ago. Like Faye and her crew, I'm not kidding you guys. They go park at the end of the block and they walk the entire strip and they go door to door to door, right? Pistol Pete, I don't know if he's on tonight, but he's another one. He doesn't go door to door. He goes phone call to phone call to phone call, right? We are 6 months into this, and life has changed to the tune of this company is working and processing $180 million in business. I can't even believe it sometimes when I'm sitting down and I'm looking at it. It blows my mind to know that this wasn't even a thought in October of last year, and now we're working through $180 million in business, right? It is that fast. It is that easy. You just can't think about it. You got to go, okay? So I'm not going to take up a whole bunch of time on that, but today we're at about $180 million in business we're working through right now. We've processed tens and tens of millions of dollars to the IRS. We've already received millions and millions of dollars from the IRS in small business owners' bank accounts, okay? So I don't know how wealthy you all are, and it doesn't really matter because we could all use a little bit more money in today's society and economy, right? There's never enough money. Like we should be going for something, striving for something more, at least stockpiling something. Today, it's Thursday, tomorrow's cycle, okay? This is 1 week for just a couple of people. 1 week for a couple of people, tomorrow's cycle. I think Awilda's on tonight. Her cycle tomorrow is going to be $13,500. 1 week's pay, right? Faye's going to be $16,600 and some change, give or take. 1 week's commission. Reed, I don't know if he's on, $6,300. Kelly's at $4,000. Jake's at $2,500. And my man Frank, the guy that we went and he trusted us and he was patient and he went and talked to a bunch of other business owners too. He received his money and it was more than he even imagined it was going to be. I'm going to bring him up in a minute because I want him to share his experience with you. Because, you know, it's one thing to like talk about these things. It's another thing to hear from a business owner and a referral partner who's received their checks and he's getting his first commission check tomorrow. It'll be about 2,100 and some change, right? Frank the Tank has a lot of money in the works. He's got a bunch of business owners in the works already. But guys, it's just a matter of believing in what we're doing, getting small business owners money they deserve, okay? Taking action, sending messages, sending flyers, sending emails, calling businesses, knocking on doors, however you do it. You got to believe in it. You got to take action, right? And then you let us just go work for you. Let us go work for you. Let us go help close the deal. Let us go process the information. Let us take care of it on the back end for you. And that's what we're going to do. So we're super excited. I haven't gotten all the final details yet, guys, but we're going to be in Virginia the 24th, 5th, and 26th. And we're going to be introducing the company to a very large platform, a very large organization. I see that Magic Johnson's going to be there speaking on stage. Man, what a blessing it is to be able to go share what we're doing with thousands of other people that have no idea what's going on, right? And guess what? Talking about the Better platform, all of those people, those business owners, are going to come join the Better platform. They're all going to come network with each other. They're all going to come network with all of you. You got to just think. It's not about just getting the money and making some money. That might be the quick goal right now, but the overall big picture is, what can we do with that money? What can we do with those relationships that we're building with that money for those businesses? And where can we go in the future, right? What kind of partnerships can we do? Jason, what'd you say? Your buddy owns like 11 McDonald's? Hey, I don't know about you guys, but if I got a few $1,000,000 just laying around and I can go hire a CEO and I can go own a couple of McDonald's to make my money work for me without me having to work for it, I'm probably all in, right? But you got to be thinking that that is an option, because it is. So without further ado, I want to bring up Frank. We call him Frank the Tank. When I think about an individual that is a true believer and that is a huge, huge giver, I'm talking about a man that fosters children, that is a godly man, that is someone that gives like no other and sacrifices like no other. I'm talking about Frank, right? And it's a pleasure and it's an honor to help his business get his money back already. It's a pleasure and an honor to help his family make some money as a referral partner as well. And it's a pleasure just to be a friend of this guy, right? So Frank, I don't know if you can hear me. There you are. I see you. Man, if you don't mind, Frank, just share your story with us. What was it like working with us? I'm sure it was all roses and it was beautiful, right? Not really, but yeah, we had some fun and we had some trials and tribulations. But if you'll share your story with us, man, and I'll let you take it over, Frank.
Thanks for the introduction there, Shane. It was a Saturday when Jason reached out to me via Messenger, and he said, Frank, did you get your ERC money? And I said, I don't even know what that is, but I think I've already got all that COVID money. So he said, well, I'm going to have Shane reach out to you. And sure enough, Shane reached out to me on Monday, and we got signed up with the ERC specialist. It was kind of, they didn't really have a website to begin with, kind of all growing and whatnot. Then we got going. My wife sent in our tax paperwork over. Then we had to, probably within a couple of weeks of doing that, we knew how much we were going to get. And it was just staggering that I actually qualified after my own personal bank at Western Security Bank. There's a gentleman there that helped me with my PPP loan. And I went to try to get the PPP loan again the second time. And he goes, no, you're not going to qualify. And he just said I didn't qualify. I got to go away. So I give up on that. But it wasn't until Jason brought that up to me again. And I thought for sure that I didn't qualify. And a lot of the clients that I've got signed on now, that's what they thought too. And so you just have to make sure that you reassure them that, they got to find out, no risk and what's it going to hurt, But so we got the paperwork sent in. Shane, we texted back and forth and whatnot. I've got, I don't know, maybe a handful of clients that are getting their money back now as it's going along. Probably the biggest one was my son-in-law, my new son-in-law that he just married my daughter about a year ago. He got the biggest one. It's for H2O lawn service, and they're getting close to $500,000. And I told him, he came right up to me, and I gave him a big hug. And I said, thank you for giving that referral to me. And I paid off his car today. I really did. It was only, it wasn't a whole lot left on his loan, but I paid it forward because normally you would get, a commission because he was the one that referred it to me. But talking with Jake and Jason, this is kind of a blessing being poured back into people's lives. My company, we're not struggling, but, I had some back taxes here and there or whatever, but it's all straightened out. It couldn't have been much easier. It was just a matter of emailing those documents over. And as soon as we knew, we went on, I don't know, it's about almost 5 months. But kind of waiting. Shane got a hold of me about your check. You're going to get notification. And then once you do, contact me. And so I went about contacting Shane as soon as the letters came in. And it wasn't like 3 days later, all the checks rolled in. There was like, oh, I don't know, 11 of them or whatever, 12 checks. I was sitting there going, what am I going to, I was nervous of taking them to the bank. So I let them sit there on my kitchen dining room table. And I sat there and I waited about 4 days to go put them in the bank because I was really, that's a big deal. And it was about 15% more, I think it was, than the estimate that the ERCT specialist gave me. So that was a big attaboy too, and when I did get the PP loan back when it first came out, I hired 2 or 3 guys on. I took that money and I used it the way it was supposed to be. And it helped because I had workers and I had paid for them, but it really didn't correct anything going on with the company, like the shipping and stuff like that. We had to wait months for parts for furnaces, but it was really, really an awesome experience dealing with just the way it all kind of happened. It was almost unbelievable. Perfect time, right place, perfect time. And yeah, so now I'm using that money. I've already got an ad in the newspaper with one of the clients through ERC that is getting their money back this week. It's Yellowstone County News. It's our small rural paper, but he's also a congressman, or I don't know if he's not a congressman. He's a representative of Montana, Jonathan McNiven. So he knows a lot of people, and I want to get to sit down with him as soon as he gets his money, and I'm going to have him kind of maybe, let me put his name in the ad too or whatever in the paper. But yeah, just the whole experience of reaching out to everybody I knew on my phone, being a business owner and having 17 years of business. I had all those contractors just waiting for me to call them. And so I just go one after the other. And some did it, some didn't. I mean, it's just up to them. And I'm returning back to the ones that said, no, it's a scam or they're not into it. Well, here's my money. This is what we got. You really should see if you qualify. Here's Shane's number. Here's the wet link, and get, signed up and get turned, paperwork sent in. But I'm so excited still. I don't know what to do. My son-in-law and my daughter are so happy this morning when I called them at 8:30 this morning. She's a school teacher, doesn't make a whole lot, but I paid her car off. And he's studying to pastor. And I says, now you can go get yourself a new car, because the one I paid off was the transmission went bad right away as soon as they bought the car. So they were kind of stuck with a lemon. And that's my story.
Dude, Frank, go ahead, Shane, real quick. Frank,
I was just
hey,
gonna say,
let me say one thing. You guys, listen, I reached out. Frank is actually, you see Jake Ramirez on the screen, their family. So I passed it right over to his family, right? It's the way to do things. But here's what's crazy about it, right? I didn't know. I saw the other companies getting approved. I did not know that was his son-in-law. That's nuts to me. They're telling me within one family, $500,000. And then Frank, I don't want to get into all yours. Yours was over 100 and something thousand. But how crazy is that with one family that own their businesses and rock and roll, like the impact that what's going to happen to their family. But here's what I love. So Frank sends me something. He's in Montana, by the way. I owe him a big old hug from Montana. He sends me a big picture with all these checks on all over that big table. I'm like, Frank, don't put that in the bank, bro. Like, but think about that for a moment. You work super hard. You get told no by supposedly everyone we're supposed to be listening to, the banking system, all these places. No. CPA says no. I'm telling you right now, like, I didn't get $1 of anything that Frank and them are getting back, right, for the platform. But I couldn't be more excited for what it's doing, like, for their family, like, and then paying it forward and all that kind of stuff. But this is one of the, I don't know, 25 families already that business owners are starting to get this stuff back. One of the ladies was crying on the phone the other day. I always be calling Shane, hey, what did that one say? Like, that's what I care about. Listen, this is a place to make a lot of wealth. It is insane how much money's floating around. But to hear the voices of people that fought through that time that was super hard on business owners, actually getting a little something back to kind of say, hey, man, this is something that we deserve and something we worked hard to get is priceless, man. Like I said, there's a lot of money going to get flown around here. A lot of wealth's going to get built. I want you guys to build a lot of it. But straight up, like, dude, Frank, I want to come give you a big old hug, bro. Like that's awesome, man. Like, and I didn't realize all that for one family. Could you imagine like what you're gonna do to
It,
impact his family? So
yep.
that's
They're
awesome.
excited. I've already started reaching out to them and telling them, look, mine came. You were a couple of weeks after me. Start looking. That paperwork's coming in the mail. As soon as those get there, get a hold of
I know I'm coming,
Shane.
Ray. I'm coming to Montana for some nice steaks, dude. You know, I mean, Shane's son hooked it up, but I don't know, bro. I'm just kidding. Shane, you can say something real quick, and then I'll go.
No, I just want to say, man, Frank, it's an honor and a pleasure, my friend. I'm glad that we could help you. I appreciate you sharing your story. And if that doesn't tell you how big of a heart this guy has right here, I don't know what does, right? I do want to share one thing though, guys, because this is very important. One of Frank's clients that just received one of their many checks coming was a huge check. He called immediately and said, Shane, I got one of my checks. Holy crap, dude, this is for real, right? And I said, yes, sir. I told you it was for real. But I said, man, I appreciate you sticking in there with us and being patient with us. And I'm glad we could help you. And then I get a text from Frank 2 days later. He says, hey, he fired his CPA. CPAs and bankers and accountants and lawyers are telling their clients they don't qualify when they do. I'm not going to go into the details tonight, but guys, I'm telling you, these companies, 90% of them truly qualify, and they're being told they don't. Do not accept no for an answer. Make them tell you no several times. You're not hurting anyone's feelings. People automatically say no the first time. And then the second, third, fourth time, they're going to say yes. We have the tools and we have the means to show them in 5 minutes on the irs.gov website. This is real. What you're being told is not true. And here it is right here. The IRS says it themselves, right? We just have to get in front of them to have the conversation is all it boils down to. So we are running out of time. We've only got about a good 9-10 months left to file and capture 2020. So it's very important we make a strong run over these next 6 to 9 months so that we don't leave any money on the table. All right, Jason, with that being said, bro, I'll let you take it over, man. I'm happy to be here with all of you.
And I don't know. Listen, first of all, I say, I talk about this being like the gold rush, right? You get across this right here is never going to happen. This moment. Now, this is one area of the Better platform, and this is what it gets me excited because there's multiple companies on here. We're leveraging all of them to help people with debt. But this moment, I remember I was actually at the meeting with Shane when they were rolling out all these companies, and I'll just tell you something. He didn't say it on here, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm not gonna let him mute himself. This dude's got a big vision. So just to kind of let you understand like the scope of this, there's still about 17 to 19 million companies that they're like, oh, it's saturated. I talked to 3 people. They said they got it. Okay, time out. I get it. That's cute. Here's the reality. There's 17 to 19 million companies that have still not applied for this. It's in Forbes magazine. It's all over the news now. I mean, it is everywhere now that this program's out there, right? And a lot of it's to debunk some of the stuff that's being said. But we made this so simple for you as an agent. You don't have to know anything about the program. Nothing. I'm going to show you why in 1 second to be able at least to get them to apply. We've made this so simple that all you have to do is ask them if have you received your ERC credit back? They're going to say, I have no idea what you're talking about. That's most of the time. I don't know what that is. Like Frank was like, I don't know what that is, right? He literally, Frank, that's exactly what you said. I don't know if I got that or not. Okay, hey, well, at least fill this out. So we made it so streamlined to be able to do this. And Shane and Jesus and all the people in the back end of the company, you guys have done a phenomenal job. But let me show you. Is that Robert that I know, Robert Villeg? Is that Robert right there? Are you kidding me right now? Anyway, fire me up, bro. Everyone's coming. I love this right now. All right, so let me show you. First of all, you come on to Better, right? You're going to come on the Better platform. Whoever invited you on, if you're new, get with the person. They'll give you their referral code. You come on. It costs nothing to get onto the Better platform. You guys, you need to understand this. I have never in my entire life Man, and I've worked in education, done enrollment for college, done well there. I've seen every platform on the planet. I've never seen a place where it costs absolutely nothing to get on the platform, and you can make like one more time. What's a Wilda making this week? Tell me what is a Wilda making this week?
Wilda's check for one referral.
I know.
One referral is $13,500.
Okay, $13,500. Someone else is making $16,000. It cost her nothing to get on the platform. Nothing. You get on the platform. There's no charge. Once you get on the platform for this one, you literally come over to get appointed. They've made this so simple. You click on ERC specialist, and then you get appointed. And there's I'm already appointed, so it won't let me go there. There's a form you fill out. You get appointed. Boom, you're appointed. As soon as you get appointed, and then you log back in, you're going to come right over to products. You go to ERC specialist. This page is going to pop up. There's Shane's information, right? That's what I love about Shane, man. I keep telling him, bro, you're the CEO. You can't answer all the phone calls. So I'm putting things around. Anyway, but he's very ready to available to make sure he's there, right? But right here is your key. As soon as you get appointed, you have this link with your agent code embedded into it. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay. So your agent code's up. This is up here, the ERC specialist referral website. Okay, mama, go jump on. I'll be in there 1 second. My daughter's got to go to the bathroom. All right. So then you have shut that real quick. So then you have your referral code embedded. So when the company that you're servicing says, yes, I want to apply, and they fill this out on your site, it's already matched to you for all your referral, you ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to figure it out. You ain't got to call somebody. It's already linked to who you are because you're in the system. But man, oh man, I learned about this program in about 4 minutes. Okay, this is how long now. Let me tell you, the video is about 2.5. I read the IRS 10 minutes. It took me to understand this program because of the work that they did to put this together. So getting your ERC is complicated, right? We make it easy. It talks about the program. There is I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Every single person, every business owner that you're going to have that you want, they make them watch this video. Do not skip this part. It's 3 minutes and explains the entire program, right? The entire program, it explains it. Then it brings you down here. What's ERC, right? Then you come down here and it talks about what it's talking about in the Wall Street Journal, right? Then it comes down and tells them the qualification process. Then if they're ready at that point, they click on the company questionnaire. They fill out a 2-part questionnaire, right? The first part, once they hit next, it brings up the second part, which is some questions they answer about their business, very simple stuff. And then they hit submit. Let's say they're not
Jason.
Hey, say something quick on there because I gotta.
Yeah, go ahead. You're okay. Go ahead. All right, guys, listen. He glazes over it. Look, he glazes over it so fast. I want to reiterate something here, and I'm going to see if I can take his screen over. All right, perfect. So when the client clicks on find out if you qualify and gets to the company questionnaire, everybody please take a note. When they fill out the first section here, that's the basic company information, okay? The basic company information. When they hit next, it's going to take them to the home page, and they're going to have to click on the questionnaire to finalize it. And they're going to have to fill out the second round of questions, which gets a little more detailed. All right. So here we need to know how many W-2 employees they had. Did they get PPP? Did they experience impacts during the pandemic? Did they have any shutdowns? Right. And then they're going to hit submit form right here. Okay. Now, if they only fill out the first portion, it will not go through. If they only fill out the first round of basic questions, it will not go through. When they fill out the second round, they have to fill out every single question to be able to go to the next round and hit submit form. Now, when they fill it out correctly, okay?
Hey, real quick, Shane, before you move. The bottom, you got it, never mind.
I was going to say, when they fill it out correctly and they submit the form.
Yeah, hold on. But look at the forms are right there too. What they need, guys. This is very simple. The business owner knows what these are. You may not know what one of these are. Trust me, the business owners know what these are. Talking to business owners. Don't be like, oh, what are all these forms? Trust me, they know what these things are. but it's listed for them. So go ahead, Shane. I know you're going next.
Yeah. The business owners know what these documents are. You don't necessarily need to know. You just need to know the verbiage, right? Or you don't even have to know the verbiage. Just say, hey guys, everything you need is on my website.
Here you go.
This is my website. You as the referral partner, this is my website. Go get signed up. There's zero risk. We're not charging you a penny. If we don't get money, you don't pay, right? Now, when the client signs up, okay, they are going to get an email immediately, and you are going to get an email immediately. If they don't receive an email, they didn't do something appropriately, all right? Or the email went to their junk mail. So when a client signs up, you will get a wonderful email that says right here, new lead, April, Harper Construction has signed up. What do you need to do, April? Nothing. The client received an email with the step-by-step process of what they need to do next. But you as the agent referral partner, okay, listen guys, this isn't going to be updated overnight. It takes a few days for these guys to reply, to send documents. You know what the holdup is for us for real? Is their CPAs are so backed up with taxes, they can't even get to send their client documents. That's the sad part of what we're dealing with. These business owners are paying these people and they can't even get documents from them. But you'll be able to check your lead status right here, and it's going to tell you where that client is at in the process. So this client is pending contact. What that means is they haven't signed the engagement letter yet, and we're waiting for them to sign the engagement letter. If they don't sign the engagement letter to us, we don't take them seriously, right? So starting next week, when a client signs up, they will receive a phone call that day. Every client that signs up, we receive their company information. They're going to receive a phone call that day from our intake specialist. And our intake specialist is going to welcome them to the company. They're going to thank them for the opportunity to go get this money for them. And they're going to make sure that they received their welcome email. And they're going to make sure that they get the engagement letter signed and they have the link to start uploading documents. We are going hardcore at this next week. We sat here and planned all week long. We've got an entire staff that we just brought on to help us with it. But next week is going to change the game for us, right? But it is very important. Jason, I don't know what you did. You took my screen away. If you don't receive the email, if your client doesn't receive the email, then something didn't happen on the intake form correctly. So it helps sometimes. I would ask you all, when you're sitting in front of a client, you can do it on your phone. Pull the link up, have them fill it out right in front of you. They can literally do the entire process, watch the video and everything in less than 5 minutes, right? This way, you know it's done. You can see the email. You can tell them, hey, pull your email up real quick. I want to make sure you got your engagement letter. I want to make sure you got your upload link. Do it in front of them. Don't do it for them. And I'm telling you not to do it for them, because if you put information in incorrectly, then it's going to mess up the whole process. It's highly unlikely the business owner is going to put the wrong information, right? But I would suggest pull your phone up, pull your computer up, have them do it right in front of you, send them the link, have them pull it up on their phone or computer, do it right in front of you, make sure you got the email, and then from there, we're going to take over and we're going to close the deal for you. Go ahead, Jason.
That was perfect. One thing I want to bring, and all that, thank you, Shane, digging deeper, which is awesome. So this right here, this part for me is the best thing they put on the website. So I'm telling you, 95% of people, once they watch the video, once they realize it doesn't cost anything to apply, there's no upfront charge. There are a ton of companies in our space that do what we do, and most of them charge upfront for you to file. We are not charging anything. That means that this young man right here had to bite the bullet for 5 months with all operating costs with everything else, didn't charge $1, not $1. It's like, dude, you're a beast, right? So we're not going to charge up front, right? But this right here, for me, is one of the most important tools you have. And I suggest you take every single person to this in case they leave you and someone tells them it's not, I don't care who tells them it's not real. We have it linked right to the IRS website that explains the entire program. It tells them exactly how it works, how they qualify. It breaks it all down. We tell them all that. It's in the video, but this gives them from the IRS exactly how the program breaks down. I'm so blessed that you guys put this on there. I don't see a lot of sites that are out there. It's very, very important. And then there's just more stuff. What do you have coming to dedicated stuff? There's a ton of FAQs down here. So use them, right? You don't have to overthink this thing, right? Do I need to repay this? Tells them no. When will you refund? When will I expect my refund? My revenue went up in 2020. Do I still qualify? Gives them all the examples, you guys. There's been so much legwork put into this. So, and it's not so you can go make more commission. Okay. That's not what this is for. It's so business owners can get the money back they deserve. And oh, by the way, you happen to get a referral fee for it. So here's how the program works quickly. They apply, doesn't cost them anything to apply to see if they qualify. Shane, do you want to explain the 20% quickly? Because you say it perfectly. They don't owe anything unless they get it back. But explain that really quick, just to understand the back end for the program.
Yeah. So for the business owner, it's zero risk. You owe us nothing unless we recover money, and you don't owe us anything until the money hits your bank account. So if you never receive money, you won't owe us any money. That's it.
And then how much? What's it on the back end to the business owner once they receive their funds?
So we are going to invoice the business owner for our 20% contingency fee. Okay. They will have an invoice that they're paying, and they can give that invoice to their CPA, and their CPA can do what's appropriate for trying to claim business expenses and stuff of that nature. So we will be providing them an invoice that they can turn into their CPA, their accountant, so they can go do what they need to do for it.
Boom. So the reason I want to show you that site is that the weapons are all in place. I get real tactical here, right? You have everything in place. This is not become a genius, have to know everything that's on the IRS website breakdown, right? The video explains it very clearly. You have the access to the stuff they need to go read, they need to look at it, right? You'll start to understand some of the terminology on the forms because you'll talk to enough business owners. But the program in place is to ask them if they receive their ERC credit when they tell you, I have no idea what you're talking about, which is most of them, then say, hey, I have a video, I have something I need you to watch, right? And here's what I suggest. You want to understand what you're doing? Watch the video, go through the website, read everything on there, all the FAQs, go to that IRS link, just read through it. It's a few paragraphs, understand some of the terminology, and you'll be able to speak some of the language that makes sense to the people you're talking to. That's all I did. It took me 10 minutes. After I read that, I knew Frank said he owned a AC company. And I said, Frank, have you ever got this? He said, yes. I said, watch this video. Or no, I don't know what it is. Watch the video. And then I was like, hey, get it over to Shane. You guys' links will send it over. And then Shane's right. Here's the reality of the situation. What Frank explained to you is what we actually care about, the client experience. You will get your money. You will get paid. And I'm excited for your experience too. But the only bottom line that if we're going to send people over to ERC specialists, and this is why I was all over, and whether it's Jorns or ERC, doesn't matter what on the platform, is the client experience. And listen to Frank on the way he was treated through the whole process during something he was unsure on is going to be the way that any company on the better platform is going to separate themselves from everybody. So Shane was very stern this weekend as we were going through breaking down where he's going with this and his vision of all the stuff on better. And because I told him, I said, Shane, I have 700 referral agents. Why am I asking Shane so many questions? Because I have a team of 700 people currently today, which will be over 1,000, which will be over 1,500 that are referring people into all these companies. So Shane gets the riot act from me. So does the CEO of Let's Chat. So does the CEO of Prosperity. Because if I'm going to bring business to you, then I'm going to expect a certain level from you because I'm bringing you people. So I'm very hard. I even though I've known Shane, I said, Shane, like this needs to be top notch. So I'm so excited about Monday. Every single person getting a call as soon as they hit the database. welcome them to the team, welcome them to the company, making sure that every single step is documented. The agent can see it. They're putting in agent relations in place. They're putting in client relations in place. And everything's already kind of been there. But the scalability of this is this. Some of our competition that's out there, some of the competition in the space, right? And has done 3 billion in recoveries in 18 months. One company's at, I don't know, 4 billion in recoveries in 2 years. $4 billion recovered for business owners. Those companies' profit is $760 million. That means that they're paying that out 4% of that to the field. What's 4% of 760 million? You can do the math on your own. It's absurd, right? The person that brings it in is being taken care of. So that'll happen. But I promise you, if you keep the main thing, how many business owners can I have tell the same story that Frank just sold? And I didn't even know until 5 minutes ago that his son-in-law is getting $500,000 also. I had no clue on that, right? But how many people can you have say, Kyle, thank you, man. I would have never applied. Brian, I didn't even know it existed. Thank you for submitting me in. Mark, man, I appreciate you coming back. You know how many churches Mark's put in at the beginning? They told him churches couldn't qualify. He never took no for an answer. I watch it every single day. He just keeps going back. Oh, churches don't get it. Okay, yes, they do. They have W-2 employees, right? And he kept going back. Oh, automotive people don't get it. I've seen 1,000 automotive people submitted in. Oh, was it chiropractors don't get it? Like, we heard all this crap in the beginning. Oh, they don't get it. They don't get it. Every single company you could possibly think of, HVAC, doctor's offices. What was that? You said Yellowstone newspaper, for whatever that even is, right? Yellowstone newspaper, right? If they had more than 3 W-2 employees that are not their family members, right? They cannot be their family members. If it's more than 3, they qualify. Bottom line. They had to have the stuff happen, right? But they can have their name put in the hat to see if they can get the funds. I don't care what, I've heard it all for 5 months. I built an army. It took me 4 seconds to read the website myself and understand it's real. I don't need someone else to tell me something's real when I know it's real. You're not going to convince me otherwise. It doesn't work like that. I don't care. I've been a CPA for 40 years. Well, you are not very good at your job then. You should reassess what you're doing. And quite frankly, they are good at their job. This isn't their lane. The money's coming back off of payroll. It has nothing to do with their job. So quite frankly, it's not even them. They just don't understand it. And I just don't deal with it, right? But them not understanding it would have kept $600,000 as a credit back to Frank's family. That's unacceptable. You know how they people lose their licenses for stuff? There should be people losing some of their stuff. It'll never happen. It doesn't work that way. But are you strong enough to stand for something that you believe in and go toe to toe? So I always tell me all the time, what are you looking for? I'm looking for some people that want to get after it, dude. They're willing to say, you tell me no, then you're going to prove to me in front of your client why it's not real. And you're going to tell them how the IRS website's not real. Luis, real quick. I know we got 10 minutes left. I'm throwing you on the spot real quick. This guy's a machine, bro. He's like 7:15. Or Luis has all of his times now, too. At 7:15 a.m., I entered into another restaurant owner. I'm just kidding. I see your post all the time, right? This guy is an assassin, dude. And everyone was telling him it's not real in the beginning. It's not going to work. It's not real. CPAs, he's like, put a CPA in front of me, right? I love it, dude. Man, you have so many businesses getting money back. It's unreal. But what has been maybe some of your story? I know you have a bunch of things going on. I'm gonna throw you on the spot because
I'm gonna share the first one. My own family was telling me, they were trying to bargain and saying that it wasn't real, and then their CPA got in the way. And let me tell you, it feels damn good to be able to call my former boss and tell him, hey, you guys got about close to $1 million coming back your way. And you can only imagine his reaction to that. And that was just the first one. And now that we're able to share these testimonies and show, the opportunity is just freaking priceless, man. And I just thank you, Jay, and the leadership, Shane. I'm excited for what's to come because, I recruited a CFO who just told me yesterday, he said, look, I don't know what several is, but he said, I have several companies that I'm going to enroll, but I need to know the time frame of when we applied, when the money came in, because these are all close relationships to me. So, it's just, I told Jay yesterday, I said, the floodgates are going to just, the floodgates are opening. And, with all these testimonies that we have now, and then with Shane and ERC specialists, they're just backing up what they've already been doing an amazing job. Now they're just bringing in more people to, help us with the flood that's coming. I'm fired up, man. We went print, me and my wife had a great idea. Out here in California, they have what's called restaurant depots. So only restaurant owners shop at this store. So my wife's like, we need to go print flyers and we need to go hand them out they're all business owners. I was like, oh my God. So I called the Wilda. She was amazing. She helped me I called Faye and this team, this platform is just amazing. I can't say enough. I mean, I could go on for, 10 more minutes, but for those that are just getting started, just follow the system. That sounds familiar. Just do exactly what you're being told, get familiar with it. And you don't need to know everything. Obviously, going through it now, you become a little bit more advanced, but it's not your job to know everything. That's why you have the people in place to get the job done. And
you skimmed over it. Why is that restaurant so important to you? You skimmed over this. Not just your old boss. Yeah. You went real fast on that because you get choked up talking about your pops. But why is that restaurant so important? Like that one,
there you go. That was my pops, my dad. Rest in peace. He started that restaurant back in 1975. Is one of the top restaurants in all of LA. You can look it up from A-list celebrities. You can name them all off. They've all been there. And that's the restaurant that I grew up at and working at. I thought I was going to be there the rest of my life, and God had other plans, and God's plans are always bigger and better. And it just feels good to be able to give back to that restaurant that my family lived off of all of my life. We lived a really good life, and to be able to say, hey, you know what? Thank you guys. Thank you, because they never doubted me when I told them I was going to step away because I found something that, better, that they were always supportive, and it just feels good. It feels good to be able to give back to somebody that did so much for me and my family. So I was able to get through that without.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna do it. I don't care, Shane. I know you said don't do it, but I don't care. I got a sneak peek because a lot of these guys are my agents. I mean, just give me real quick. I need people to understand the magnitude because I don't think they're like 15 grand. That's not worth my time. Shane, how much right now in 5 months? What's Pete's estimated commission back right now? I know you don't want me to do this, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. I feel it right now. But what I know, don't shake your head. Whatever. You're the CEO. You can say whatever you want. What right now, rough estimate, you can ballpark for me real quick, in 7 months.
Yeah, I ain't ballparking nothing. I'm just gonna throw it out there. And it ain't 7 months. It's 6 months.
No, I said 7.
Listen, 6 months. 6 months. And I'm only looking at 2/3 of what's in process. There are 240 more companies that are not even accounted for in this number. We're looking at agent commissions right now of over $1.3 million right now. If I go look at Pistol Pete's at where is he? Pete 382. Pistol Pete is somewhere around $500,000 with another 300,000 not even accounted for on this sheet.
What about Luis, who was just talking? Hell, I'm just watching.
Listen,
Come on.
Luis,
Let me just watch his wife's face. I don't care about him. Say it real quick.
Luis,
I don't care about that.
Luis
is not better looking.
Yeah, look, Luis and Jennifer walked into a company, sat down with that CEO that just told him, hey, I wanted to see the process. I wanted to see how long it took. And now I've got a handful of businesses. They sat down and signed up 3 companies in one conversation. I got on the phone for 15, 20 minutes with them. All of the owners were in the room together. Those 3 companies are looking at like $4-something million in recoveries. $4 million in recoveries at 4% commission. So Luis is at 140. Let's see. Luis somewhere around 150.
Stop looking your wife in the eyes on the screen. It's disturbing. Stop looking.
Luis is somewhere around 150 grand right now, not counting everything that he submitted.
And here's the crazy part. That's just the stuff that's hit the sit. That's not all the backlog that's coming behind all the ones he's talking. So here's my point. I just want to leave it at this. When I saw this opportunity, and I didn't have to give up my family, I didn't have to give up my other careers I run. I run a very, very successful financial services company that takes care of our family. I did not have to give up one thing. All I had to do was add in a referral platform for free, and then refer business owners over, or refer over debt. You guys are going to see the whole platform over the next couple of weeks. But in this one scenario, refer over that, and then offer people a solution to come on and for free to offer referrals. Are you kidding me? Like, this is literally ridiculous. I'm sitting here going like, this is not real. I told my wife, we're looking at $2.6 million in 6 months. My wife's like, hey, did you lose weight today? I said, yeah, I've been eating some salad lately, right? Here's the deal. I'm not kidding you guys right now. And some of you are like, no, this guy's just talking. I am telling you right now, if you think like that, you're going to blink and you're going to miss the biggest opportunity of your life. The biggest opportunity of your life, and all you have to do is show someone a website. Ask them, this is all I do. Hey, have you got your ERC credit back? They're like, what are you talking about, dude? Just like I did. Frank, you just heard Frank. What are you talking about? Hey, here's a link. Watch the video. If you have questions, let me know. Here's a link to the IRS website if you need to look at it. Here's some Q&As. It costs nothing to apply for it. And let's see if you qualify. Oh, by the way, you don't pay $1 of anything until you get your money back. And for you just waiting along, it's a 20% on the back end that you pay out of the money you get that you just got. And by the way, you can give it to your CPA and get write-offs for it if you need to do that. That's all it's going to run you. And all you have to do is apply. But okay. That sounds good. And then a few CPAs get in the way here and there, not very often. And they're like, let's roll. But here's the deal. For 5 months, we got kicked in the face. We got punched in the mouth. I was getting told, oh, this guy, here he goes, blah, 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 all the crap. You know what I got now? When they say this isn't real, I got not, you won't know it's Frank's name on there. I got Frank's paychecks to show them that he got his money back from the IRS. We have 25 companies. When they say, oh, there's no way someone's making that much money. Well, Awila's going to have in her account the next 24 to 48 hours, right? Jorns is paying $20,000 commission tomorrow on the other company running the same thing. This thing is real as ever. So what I'm telling you is, for Luis and all the road dogs that went after it on a hope and a whim, which wasn't really hope and a whim, but they thought that way, that's awesome for you. But if you're here for the first time today, you have 9 months to change your family's last name. And this thing hasn't stopped. Because here's what I will tell you. The first target that I'm shooting for with my organization, if Jordan's could put up $760 million in profit in 18 months, well, call me crazy. We're doing the same damn thing. When I look at the numbers from our organization in the first 6 months of what we've done compared to where they were at in their first 6 months, we're ahead of them. I'm not knocking the company. It's a great company. Use them on the platform. I'm telling you, with my organization that I'm growing, and I'm looking like Luis and his wife are about to get $160,000 for him and his daughters. Are you out of your freaking mind? Frank the Tank has $600,000 coming in from being a business owner, then also is going to make all the referrals coming in. Pistol Pete is underneath my organization. He's getting paid $700,000. Are you out of your freaking mind? Are you kidding me right now? I'm going for loans for everybody. I know who's getting that money. I'm just joking, right? But think about that for 1 minute. Because why? I said, hey, Luis, man, let's go save some businesses. Hey, let's help people with debt. Hey, Joe, let's go help some businesses, bro. Oh, what do I have to do? Oh, here, go to my link and sign up for free. It's ridiculous. It doesn't even, when I say it out loud, it doesn't make any sense. He got on the platform for no cost. He's about to make $700,000 in 6 months. Well, did he get it yet? Oh, sorry. It'll come over the next 3 months. So sorry, he won't take that over the next 90 days. The things people say to me just blow my mind, Shane. I can't understand. Well, how much of that did you actually receive? Hey, while you keep saying that, when my 2.6 million and then my 10 million and then the 20 million come up, then I'll let you know. But the reality is this. Ending on this today, keep the main thing the main thing. Help the business owners. You will be heavily rewarded for doing the right thing. Help the business owners. You'll be heavily rewarded. But as someone running an organization and leading something, knowing your people in 6 months are making 170 grand, I ain't seen that in my entire life. It is freaking awesome. It's so cool. And I'm I just appreciate you, Frank, for sharing this. You didn't have to come on and do that. And I really appreciate you, man. You're a great man. Dude, who would have known Instagram? Who would have known Facebook Messenger? Did you get this thing? How should I do this? Every means possible. Instant Messenger, LinkedIn, Facebook, walk the streets, drop off flyers, tell your wife you're flying to an event in a week and a half without even knowing ahead of time, because you're going to go stand on stage and share the message to the world. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to make people get what they deserve. So Shane, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate your wife. Tracy is amazing. I know how much work you're putting into this. I know how much time it takes. I know how much you had to keep telling her, don't worry, baby, I promise. I know I'm just spending 5 months and we're paying money out. We're not making anything. Like, it's working. But you never wavered, dude. You never wavered. Tony Swanzak, you have a lot of respect for, set a groundwork for you, and you took advantage of it. And a lot of people are going to be blessed because of that. So I appreciate that, man. So I work so hard. And Pete's getting younger by the day. I mean, it looks like he's went down to 45. He lost all of his grays. It's starting to get dark again. But man, have some fun with this. Help some businesses. And by God, go get flat out wealthy. And a lot of us guys, if you're not in the space, we work in financial services. We can actually help you understand what to do with that, so you don't go blow all your money and go buy Bugattis and stupid crap you don't need, right? You can change your last name in a very short window of time. And I say it all the time. It's never going to happen again. So have some fun with it. Take advantage of the opportunity. And Shane, we appreciate you, man.
Hey, Jason, somebody asked a question about the processing time right now. So the IRS is getting faster, not slower. And they're telling us what we're seeing from the date we submit, about 4.5 to 5 months, give or take. These companies are getting their money back now. This is going very quickly now, right? We originally approached this thinking
1 year,
7 to 12 months before they got their money. So about 4.5 months, 5 months, give or take, everyone's receiving their money, getting paid, as long as they're getting submitted and they're watching their mailbox for communication.
All right, Shane, I missed my point here. I got so fired up. Shane gets you fired up. Listen, what's your action item? This is all I did. This is all I did when I started. Okay. And if you want to start it, do it again. I just wrote down every single person that I knew that owned a business. I wrote their names down. My very first submission was my boy Tim Finnegan's, right? He gets his money back, I think, next week. He's so fired up. I told him I'm eating for free there the rest of my life. I'm just kidding, but seriously, you got to fun with this thing a little bit. But the first one I submitted, I just wrote down every person that I knew that owned a business. And then I started asking my close people, my brothers, my parents, hey, who do you know that owns a business? And they gave me a bunch of names, right? We got the church set up. We got all types of stuff happening, right? But I just went through them first. And I just talked to all of them, the organic ones. And I got good at it because then I was talking to people I knew. And then once I got that out of the way, then the sky was the limit, right? But those few people have kept sending other people, especially now they know the checks are coming. So that's a tip. I would start there first. Not saying don't go talk to business owner down the street. If you got an uncle, he went to his son-in-law. Hey, son-in-law, I have a business. You have a business? Let's put it in. Some of you guys are so connected through business owners in your family. Oh my gosh, you can literally get off the gate fast and then allow them to help you get the rest, right? That's the name of the game. So my tip to you would be, getting off today, make a list of every business owner you know, right? And say, hey, have you got your ERC back? They're going to say yes or no. Most likely no. Get them your website. Let them watch the video. Show them the stuff on the IRS website. Hey, just throw your name in the hat. Just like Frank said, just throw your name in the hat. What's the worst that happens? They say yes. What's the worst? They're going to say yes or no. But I'm telling you right now, they're all qualifying as long as they meet their criteria, which isn't very big. So with that being said, that would be my strategy. That's my strategy. It's how I built. And then that's how I got so many referral partners. We're almost to 1,000 referral partners just because I went to people I knew and said, hey, do you own a business? At least put your name in the hat. And then, hey, are you looking to make extra income? Awesome. Get on this free platform. That was it. That's the extent of what I say to people. You think I'm making, that's it? I don't go into details. I don't get crazy. Would you like to make extra money? There's a free referral platform. Hey, did you get ERC? No? Boom. There's a link. I sound so smart in that 3-minute video. I'm the smartest person ever. I say the same thing every time. I never can mess it up, Annalise, ever. One time, because the same video plays every single time. The FAQs are the same every single time. It never changes. You're always right every time. Don't overthink this thing. I love you guys. I respect you. Hey, I'll say it to my organization, and on the other side, I'm going to say it to you guys. I don't know why you're placed here. I don't know. I don't know why you're on the Zoom today. I have no idea why you're here. That wasn't my decision, right? I believe in God. He puts people in certain places. You believe in what you want to believe in. But you are placed here. Don't question it. Don't challenge it. Accept it and run. I've done it with everything in my life, and it's always turned out well, right? Accept it and run. Don't question it. I don't know why you were so blessed to be here. Just run as fast as you possibly can and go help a bunch of businesses. All right, you guys have a good rest of the night.